Traditionally, the church looks at business people as sinners in the marketplace, like tax collectors in Jesus' time. So they should be coming to church to support the business and the ministry. The role of business people is only financial support. I think which is it's not a right way of looking at business people. We need to empower business people as marketplace ministers. And once you do them, I believe in the biblical verse, whatever you do it all for the glory of the Lord. That includes even doing business. You do business for God's glory. And when you give them that due respect and the due release them for their calling, you are doing for God's glory. The business people are able to overcome that barrier that's blocking their mind, the spiritual barrier. They don't go to the world, Lord, I'm trying to make money as much as possible so that I can do something holy, spiritual somewhere else. No. When they come to business, Lord, thank you, Holy Spirit, that you brought me to this place. I'm here to minister to this land. You set them free. This guy is greatly equipped to come and conquer the place for Jesus.
Minute MBA, how to tell if you're an entrepreneur. 1. You started young. As a child, you didn't just have a lemonade stand, you had a lemonade franchise and a toll-free number. 42% of all entrepreneurs launch their first business in childhood. And studies show that the earlier an entrepreneur starts their first business, the more likely they'll find success. Today, kids are born entrepreneurs, having traded in their newspaper routes and baseball cards for developing mobile apps. Like 14-year-old Robert Nay's Bubble Ball, which has over 9.1 million downloads. That's a lot of milk money. 2. You're a gambler. Ray Bradbury might have had the entrepreneur in mind when he said that living at risk is jumping off a cliff and building your wings on the way down. 7 in 10 entrepreneurs feel that taking risks is more important to success than avoiding mistakes. And 77% of people use their own money or family assets for starting up their business. Of course, the only guarantee you have when jumping off a cliff is that the ground is eager to meet you, which means 3. You're probably a failure. First-time entrepreneurs can expect to fail 82% of the time, which is probably why nearly 2 out of 10 say that they have at least one maxed-out credit card. But though the virtual promise of crushing debt may seem like a big deal, the fact is, 4. You're not in it for the money. Even though entrepreneurs on average make at least 25% more than the general population, 2/3 claim innate drive as the #1 motivator in starting their business. To learn more about entrepreneurship programs, check out onlinemba.com.
Hey guys, Justin Conoco from theclosers.ca here and Grogan Conoco Real Estate Brokerage. Just wanted to give you our August market update. So the month of July, 934 homes sold, which was actually 4.7% down from the previous year, but the previous year had actually been the best July that we had since 2007, so don't let those numbers skew you too much. Market's been very, very active. The best selling type of home is actually a 2-story and then followed by a bungalow and then a ranch. Still a fun fact for you. And the average sale price of a home is $283,900 or $283,593. So London, Ontario is still considered to be one of the most affordable places to live in, and those numbers kind of reflect that. Another thing we just wanted to bring up is a small little legal brief pertaining to investment property. We read an article recently about how a lot of people trying to document occupancy in investment properties, thinking that if they send their address or their driver's license to a certain address that they can get away with that as far as a capital gains tax exemption when it comes time to sell the property. What that means is if you own a piece of real estate that's an investment and you live in one of the units and it's your primary unit and you go to sell that, you're actually exempt from capital gains tax. But if you have a couple holdings and you're making a commercial profit from that and you go to sell them, you have to pay what's called capital gains tax because it's basically proceeds from running a business. Going back to what I was saying about document occupancy is some people try and play with the system and basically just send mail there and say, oh, you know what, I'm living in the upper unit so that when I go to sell it, I can get away with not paying the capital gains tax. But a fact that I need you guys to be aware of is 2 years ago, the CRA actually cracked down on that. They did 600 audits of people and actually over, I think almost half of those were actually convicted, and the fine for doing that is actually double the capital gains tax. So something to be aware of if you're in the invested market. and you're looking at different ways to structure your company or maybe get some tax exemptions, maybe something to think about is sitting down with a good lawyer and structuring a company that's what they do. That's what the company does, and you can put the money back into the company and save your money taxes that way. There's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. Let us know. We actually have some really good professionals that can guide you along. As far as that's concerned, we could sell you guys the property, and then we could set you up with the right people to make sure that you're getting all the exemptions you should get and paying, the proper amount of tax versus not overpaying your taxes as well. So if you guys have any questions, we're always here, 519-860-6547 or info@theclosers.ca. Take care.